Hello everyone, today I'm going to do the daily speaking practice. Oh wow, the speaking practice is really long today, so I will speak as fast as I could. First, what do you keep plants at home? Yes, I do. Our families usually have quite a lot of flower pots around the house so that we could always keep the fresh air. What plants did you grow when you were young? Well, I did. I'm not really particularly fond of growing plants, even from the past. So I couldn't say that I have grown a plant before. Do you know anything about growing plants? Oh, yes. So through biology classes, I have learned quite some tricks, technique, and method to grow plants efficiently. But actually, I never tried myself. So maybe in the futures, I would like to grow a plant myself. Do Vietnam people will send plants as a gift? Yes, literally for any occasions like celebrations. Yes, funeral, yes, like everything, every celebration possible. Man, taking a flower and bringing it as a gift is the sign of respect you would want the other person wants to receive. However, it really depends on the kinds of plans you giving the others. Do you bring food or snack with you when you're going out? Well, no. I only bring some when I need to go far away. Do you only take your mobile phone when with you when you're going out? Yes, of course. That's a necessity, and I cannot live without it. I bring it for emergency cases or if I need access to stuff. Do you often bring cash with you? Like, yes, always. Even though we have turned into we use cash now. We usually use card and online banking now, but there's some place like in the market where some people don't have uh, those apps, so using cash would be easier. How often do you cash? Like every day, since like school doesn't allow phones, so we if we want to use the school canteens, we need to use cash. Are you interested in growing vegetable and fruit? No. As I said before, I'm not really particularly fond of growing anything, and I think it's a waste of time. Is growing vegetable popular in your country? Yes, our countries from the past are based on agricultures, so we are really familiar with growing stuff. Do many people grow vegetables in your city? Well, from what I observed, I would say yes. From my parents, my relatives, I always see pots of flowers or plants around their homes every time I come over. Do you think it's easy to grow vegetable? Well, it really depends on the type of plant you're growing. If there's some simple plants, it would take really little time and would really be really fast to do. However, if it's some plant that require a huge amount of time, I would say no. Just the school teacher have to grow vegetable. Well, I think it's really unnecessary since there are more important things to do. If it's for extracurricular period, I would agree with that. But most of those informations could be found online. Do you think museums are important? Well, I guess I do, since museum is where we preserve all the ancient artifacts showing about our people history. So it would be necessary to keep them as for people could come and learn about their history. Are there many museums in your hometowns? Around the area, there isn't any, I guess. Yes, there isn't any. If move a little, if go further away a little bit, like 10 kilometers from here, I would say that there's some. Do you often visit a museum? Hardly ever. Like the last time I actually visited a museum was like 6 months ago when I went on a vacation trip out of school. When we go to a aquarium where the museum was a small part of it, talking about ancient marine creatures. Okay. Do you often take breaks? Yes, I do. I'm a human. I'm not a machine who can work non-stop. So I would usually take some breaks of like about 30 minutes per time. Not 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I will take break after any 30 to 40 minutes of work. What do you do when you take breaks? So there's a lot of things I could do, like staring at the walls, since I have watched online. It's really good if I want to keep the adrenaline high when I come back to do the things I'm doing. Or maybe I will read a book or play some games. Have you ever slept when you're taking break? Well, yes, always. I have a rule for myself that's an 8 minutes nap, like every an hour to 2 hour of learning. If I see myself feeling sleepy, I would take a quick nap so that I could regenerate my own body, so that I keep myself energetic to move on. How do you feel after taking a nap? Well, it really depends on what time and how long I take in a nap. For example, if I'm just a little bit tired, taking a short nap would be a really amazing experience. Since when I wake up, all my body feels energetic. However, if I sleep over time, like about 2 to 3 hours, every time I wake up, my head feel like I'm being pressed down by 100 kilograms of tons, and my body is really hard, feels really hard to move. Okay, move on. Who the hell did? What's too wrong today? Shit. Let's go. Describe an interesting building. Hmm, getting the right one. Yes, I guess so. Well, a building I would really like to visit is the Sydney Opera House in Australia. Even though I've only seen it in photos and videos, it's always been fascinated to me because it's really unique and the design looks really iconic too. And as far as I remember, the Opera House is located around the Sydney Harbour, and what makes it instantly recognizable is its series of white shell-safe roof. The architectures look modern and artistic, almost like a giant sculpture rather than a traditional building. I first learned about it in the documentaries before when talking about famous actors, and a lot of them showing those actors performing in the Sydney Opera House. And I love to visit during sunset when the lights reflect off the water and the whole building glows. I heard that the interior is really impressive, with sheer performance with halls and beautiful wooden structures. If I ever get a chance, I would like to watch a live concert or a theater performance there, just to experience the atmosphere. I think the reason I find this building so interesting is itself looks like an artwork. Like it represents creativity and innovation in the way we do art. It was designed decades ago, yet it still look really futuristic and beautiful. For me, the Cinema House is not just a place for performance; it's really a symbol of infrastructure that can inspire people and become a cultural icon. Oh my god. Okay, questions. What kind of building are popular in your country? In my country, there's a wide range of buildings. Uh, most most of the time would be like more than high-rise apartment and office tower, and also some traditional house too. Why do some people admire certain building? Well, maybe there's a various reasons to that. Some are drawn to architectural beauty, such as unique shape, creative design, or historical style, just like how the Sydney Opera was. Others appreciate building that uh, belongs to like a cultural or historical event, like temple, museum, or ancient structure. Do people prefer modern buildings or traditional one? Well, take me as example. Younger people tend to prefer modern buildings because they offer convenience, technology, and a clean, minimalist style. What are the differences between old and modern buildings? Well, openings usually have traditional designs, handcrafted detail, and material like wood, stone, or brick. They often reflect cultural values and historical periods. But for the modern buildings, they you focus more on functionality, efficiency, and the technologies used in that. They use quite a lot of new material like glass, steel, concrete, and yeah, and some also have style roof and insulation materials. Should historical buildings be preserved? Yes, historical buildings definitely should be preserved because they are valuable cultural assets. They help people understand their history, identity, and architectural traditions. How have buildings changed in your country over the years? Well, building in my country have changed really dramatically in the past. Most structures were really short and with built with simple materials and often designed to suit the local climate. Today, our cities filled with skyscrapers, shopping malls, and modern apartment complexes. While skyscraper becoming more common, while skyscraper are becoming more common because they could maximize use for maximize land use, especially in crowded cities where space is really limited. They allow more people to live in a small area, which is financially and economically efficient. Do tall buildings make cities more attractive? Tall buildings could really make the city look more impressive, especially at night when all the lights on. And if they are well designed, they could be like a part of the skyline where everything is glowing. What problems can overcrowded cities face? Well, overcrowded cities face quite a lot of issues such as traffic congestions, pollution, high living expenses, and pressure on public services like hospital or schools. Yes, is it better to live in an apartment or a house? So it really depends on a person's lifestyle. For me, lifestyle and the demand. For example, someone like me, I really want to live in a crowd due to some safety issues. Maybe there may be fires going on, so I could escape easily. However, there's some people who want to live in a community, or they have little money to pay for the lands and the houses. So an apartment would seems to be a better option for them, so that they could maximize their money use. Not even finished yet. How long should be our maximum speed today? Describe why animal you would like to learn more about. A wild animal I would really like to learn more about is the maybe The leopard, I always found this animal fascinating because it really rare and rare. Yes, leopard live high in the mountain in maybe Asia. So I don't remember clearly in places that the jungle, tropical forest, something somewhere like that. I first know about these animals maybe in the documentary I watched somewhere before, or maybe a film show how they survive in a harsh environment, jumping across cliff and blending perfectly into the landscape to catch their prey. What I want to learn more about is their behavior and lifestyle. Unlike lions or tigers, leopards are very solitary and really shy. Some say that they are really difficult to track, which is why there are much things. There are not much information talking about these animals. And also, I'm curious about how they hunt, how they raise their uh, children, and how they manage to survive in different conditions. Another reason I want to study them is that leopards are endangered. Their population have been decreasing because of habitat loss and poaching. Yes, I like to understand what conservation efforts are being made to protect them and whether these efforts are actually effective or it just for commercial problems? Okay, moving on. Why do people find wild animal fascinating? People find wild animal fascinating because they represent uh, freedom, mystery, and natural beauty. Many wild animals have unique behaviors like survival skill or physical features that humans don't see don't have. Do people in your country like watching wildlife program? No. Actually, the younger generations tend to learn to find themselves more interested in like maybe YouTube video talking about some useless stuff or something like that. Why are children usually interested in animals? Well, children are naturally born with curiosity, and wild animals are really colorful, lively, and unpredictable, which captures their attention. What can people learn from animals? Well, we can learn quite a lot from them. From cooperations, patience, resilience, or maybe adaptabilities. For example, let's talk about how ants shows teamwork. Maybe bird demonstrate persistence during migration, and elephant display strong family bonds. How are people today less connected to nature than in the past? Yes, many people today are less connected to nature because of civilization, urbanization, technology, and busy lifestyle. The areas around us, there are a lot of plants, trees. However, it have lost the feelings of being close to nature since it's not actually nature, but more artificial park. And also, we have people that have lesser chance to interact with wildlife too. Why are many wild animal endangered today? Well, there are various reasons where we could talk about it. Maybe about habitat loss, climate change, pollution, and illegal hunting. And all of the reasons start from humanity. What can government do to protect wildlife? Well, I would recommend they just setting stricter rules um, like they need to check the contrabands that take from the animals, and also they need to administrate everything more carefully and more strictly. What can ordinary people help protect wildlife? Oh no, should hunting wildlife be banned completely? Yes, hunting wild animals should be banned because it leads to population decline and disrupt the ecosystem. But maybe if humans in need, like we're hungry, I think yes. How can ordinary people help protect wildlife? Ordinary people can help by reducing waste, avoiding products made from animal parts, and supporting conservation programs. This could reduce the habitat loss and consumption of the animals' products. Do you think protecting animals is as important as protecting humans? To be honest, I don't really think so because we have always follow rules to stronger stay alive. So since human are the most developed one, we should focus more on protecting human rather than care about animals. Do you think zoos are necessary today? Maybe I think they're still necessary, but only if they focus on conservation, education, animal welfare, not for commercial use. Like quite a lot of zoos out there who treat the animals quite badly. They torture them so that they could get more profits from activities. What are the advantages of zoo? Zoo provides safe and right environment for animals, supporting breeding programs, and offer educational chances for the public. What are the disadvantages of keeping animals in zoo? Well, there's are a lot actually. If an animal got captured from the natural environment to inside the zoo, they could really suffer from stress since their space is limited compared to the huge natural world outside. Um, and if those animals already live in the zoo for too long, they will lose some of its species habits, like knowing hunting, something like that. It would really cost a lot if those animals are released back into the nature, since uh, they already lost their habits. Is it better to see animal in the zoo or in the wild? Well, I would definitely say it's in the wild, since looking in the wild allow us to see more of the daily life of those animals, more and they also their activities too. It will be more meaningful and authentic. Looking in the zoo is fine, but they are not actually real, since those animals are limited in um, the space provided, and they could not actually show all of their characteristic out. Should children visit zoos to learn about animal? I think yes, but not really necessary. For most of the time now, we have the internet so that we could see some videos online talking about those animals, and it will be even faster to learn from there. But if we have the chance, the close, getting close to nature seems like good options too. See you.